at the lounge. It's not actually morning anymore, it's afternoon. Our morning was spent delivering boxes to the not quite open, because I got up early, the not quite open UPS store, FedEx store, grabbing a cup of coffee, and then getting in the car because Grayson delivered us to the Max train. I was going to do some footage on the Max train because it was quite pleasant, almost empty. And then now, David and I managed to get into the lounge. We managed to get into the lounge, and we're having, well, he's having coffee. I'm having some bubbly water because I've already had iced tea this morning, no coffee. And I had some nuts. And I'm sitting here uploading your video for the day. Well, I don't know, it's called exporting. I'm exporting it, and I will upload it after that if I have time. Today's agenda is to get on a plane to Seattle, hop planes, and go to Tucson. I've brought a whole bag full of projects, including the t-shirt with needles ready to go. But I also started my Sashiko project last night, and I'll show you. I've started on it. And you've decided to put your mask back on. I started on this. My needle's in here. There. I started on it last night. This is how far I got in, like, I don't know, an hour? It moves pretty fast. And as before, I want to remind you, you work the Sashiko from the back. So this one, you meander around in the circles, and it's kind of fun trying to plot out a pathway and also work from the back. So figuring out what you need to do to make sure that your stitches are even on the front. But I'm pretty happy. I missed a little bit of the bird's mouth, and then I'm probably going to work myself into a corner because I haven't planned ahead very well. But it's super fun, and the kit came with the thread, the needle, lining for the glasses case, or in my case it's going to be knitting gadgets, a thimble, which I'm not using because I don't hold my Sashiko stitching correctly, and then the hardware for the bag. So, and I'm not sure how this is going to go in. It has good instructions though. So I've got like a cord to anchor it into the clasp. So it'll be interesting. I've never done clasp purses before, so it'll be good practice for other purses. But, ooh, I gotta get it in my bag. The instructions are all in Japanese, but they do great visual. So see, that's how you're supposed to hold your thimble and push your needle that way. I don't. Stitching. It did not show, and then there's how to put the bag together. It did not show me, it didn't tell me to work from the back like the coaster kits did. So I'm definitely learning that you want to do the coaster kits first to introduce yourself to Sashiko, and then move on to these bigger projects. Now I started with the purse, and its instructions weren't great either. So definitely highly recommend coaster kit, and then go on to a bag of some sort after you know what you're doing. But so far so good. I'm going to start doing that for a little while now while I wait for my video to finish. And then I also have my t-shirt with me, and I have to figure that out. And I also have the fairy rings because it's brainless knitting and I can do it anyway. So still in the lounge here, but I am doing my Sashiko from the back. So what you do is you stitch. What you see is between the lines. You go down where the lines are. So for example, let's see if I can do this for you. Yeah, I don't think I can. You go, if you look up really close at this, let's see if I can get this closer. I am popping my needle under the line, at the beginning of the line, go across the length of the line, and then come out, skip over where there's no line, go down, come out again. And I'll see if I can get a handy dandy camera in so you can see me work the stitch. Alright, so the way that you do this is I go down at the beginning, and here's a good gap you can see. I'm going to travel all the way over here, go under the marked stitch line, under it, and back up at the end of the marked stitch line. And then skip over where there is no stitch line and go down at the beginning of the next stitch line and up at the end of it. That way, what you get is not so pleasing on the back, and you get to hide your stitch lines, or the markings for stitch lines, on the front, and they never show up.
cabin secure.
So just a little last minute pop in. We made it to Arizona. We're sitting on the couch with an empty fridge because we were too tired. Tony, my friend, picked us up at the airport, but we were too tired to go to the grocery store, so we've decided to just come home and deal with the grocery store tomorrow. However, on the plane, I finished my Sashiko and I stitched it by hand, and I stitched the liner. Here, I'll take this out for you. I stitched the liner. Here's the lining. And you stitch 3 centimeter depth corners on both. This is turned right side out. Now I need to iron this because in order to get a crisp seating of this, I have to press it, and I'm going to do that tomorrow because it's almost bedtime. However, David has a little treat for you because the instructions in this pattern are in Japanese, and yes, there are great photos, but when it comes time to put the hardware on, it's not totally clear from the photos, and I was a little worried about it. So I know that David had a translating app on his phone when we were in Japan, but as it turned out, that translating app is Google Translate. So you can point the Google Translate app at your text and it will translate it. And it may not be like completely English, but it will be readable and you can get an idea as to what the instructions are. So I'm going to flip you around and show you a translation. There is the English overlaid over the top. So you can see what their instructions look like and then what the phone translates it to. But tomorrow I will discuss or show you how to put the hardware on, and I'll go press this. I have an iron here, but I'm going to go over to the laundry room because it has one that's set up all the time. And we have a day off tomorrow, so woohoo! We're going to relax, maybe go get a coffee, get some groceries for the week, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.